Hello everyone. In this video I will be explaining how to identify which organic compound is given to you all. So in detail we will be explaining the systematic qualitative analysis of organic compound. That is, we are finding out what is the given compound, what is a given organic compound by conducting particular tests. So first we need to go to the preliminary examination, which has again certain sub-tests. That is, we have to see the physical state, color, odor, and we have to do certain tests. Then we have to find what is the melting point of the compound. Then we are finding out which are the elements that are present in the compound, whether nitrogen is present, whether sulfur, or whether any halogen is present. So we are finding out whether any three of these elements are present in this step. Then we are finding out the solubility of this compound. So we are checking whether it is soluble in water or whether it is soluble in dilute HCl or so on. So based on the solubility, we can identify the compound belongs to which solubility group. So here we can find out the solubility of the compound and whether the compound belongs to which solubility group. So based on this step, we can identify what is the functional group that is present in the molecule. So we have to go to the next step, that is detection of functional group. So after finding out which is the solubility group, then we can find out whether the compound is an aldehyde or a ketone or an acid or whatever it is. So finally, by making certain tests in the detection of functional groups, we can identify what is the given organic compound. Now coming on to the experimental determination. So this is the given organic compound. So first what we have to do is we have to see the preliminary examination. So first, the first test in preliminary examination is taking care of whether we have to observe whether it is a solid or a liquid, that is physical state. So here we know that the given organic compound is solid in nature, so the physical state is solid. Next we have to see what is the color of the given compound. So we can clearly observe that the color of the given compound is white, or we can just tell it is colorless. So here we see that the compound is white in color. Next, odor. So we know that all the solids which are given to you all, it will be odorless. Okay, so except naphthalene, all the other solids will be odorless, so it does not have any characteristic odor. Next, coming on to the fourth type of test, what we are doing in preliminary examination, that is Bayes test. So to do this Bayes test, what we need to do is, we have to take the compound. So since we are doing semi-micro qualitative analysis, we have to take only minute amount of this compound. So we take the compound and then we need to add sodium carbonate solution. So we add sodium carbonate solution and then we have to just mix it. So to this solution we need to add 1 drop of KMnO4 solution. So we have KMnO4 solution. Just you can use a dropper or you can just add carefully a little amount of 1 or 2 drops of KMnO4 solution. And then you have to shake the solution. So here you can see, when you shake the solution and just observe the color. So the color of KMnO4 has not changed, or in other words, there is no discharge of the color of the KMnO4 solution. So we can say that the compound is not reactive. If it is very reactive, then what it does? It will discharge the KMnO4 pink color. Okay, so it has not discharged, so it is not a very highly reactive compound. So after the Bayes test, the next test is the ignition test. So in ignition test, what we do is, we take a small amount of the compound, okay, that is a given compound, in a spatula. Then what we need to do is, we need to heat this compound directly on the flame. Okay, so here you can see the compound burns and you can see this, you can see the smoke that is coming out, right? So can you see this smoke that is coming out? Yes. So we can say that the compound burns with a sooty flame. So we can say that the compound is aromatic in nature. Only if the compound is aromatic in nature, the compound will burn with a sooty flame. If it is aliphatic, then there won't be any soot, what you can see. So next step after ignition test, we have to do the next test, which is called as the copper wire test. So this is the copper wire, what you can see. So first what we need to do is we have to preheat this copper wire, because there may be some impurities or something like that. So first we need to preheat this copper wire. So let it cool for some time. After it cools for some time, we need to dip this copper wire in the compound. We have to just smear the compound with this copper wire and hold it in the edge of the flame. So I have just dipped the compound and then I hold it at the edge of the non-luminous flame. So here we know that, as you can see immediately, there was no green color that was imparted to the flame. So you could just see only yellow colored flame. So if there is no green color that is imparted to the flame, we know that the compound does not contain any halogen. Only if the compound contains halogen, or if the compound which is given to you is urea, then only the compound, when you keep the compound with the copper wire in the flame, then the flame will get green color. So after doing the preliminary test, the next step is finding out the physical constant. Since we have taken the solid, so we have to find out what is the melting point of that particular solid. So melting point of this compound was found out, and it is found to be 121 degrees Celsius. Okay, so then what we can do is, the next step what we are doing is detection of elements. So for the detection of elements, the first step what we are doing is we have to prepare an extract which is called as sodium fusion extract. So to prepare this sodium fusion extract, we need to take a particular tube that is called as fusion tube. This is the fusion tube. So within this fusion tube, you have to take a small piece of sodium and place it inside this fusion tube. So the sodium metal is already taken. So you have to take a very small piece of sodium metal . So a small piece of sodium metal is taken and you have to place it inside the fusion tube. Now the sodium metal has to be brought to the bottom of the fusion tube. Now what we have to do is, I have taken the sodium metal within this fusion tube. Now what you have to do is, the next step, you have to heat this fusion tube so that the sodium that is present within the fusion tube becomes converted into a silver globule. So I am heating this fusion tube now. So you can see, you can see this sodium which is getting converted to a silver globule. Now to this sodium which has been converted to the silver globule, you need to add little amount of the given organic compound. So what we do is, we take little amount of the given organic compound and slowly put this compound inside this fusion tube. Okay, so you should be very careful that you have to add this organic compound into the fusion tube. Now you have to heat this fusion tube carefully until the bottom of the tube becomes red hot. So you can see that the bottom of the tube has become red hot. Now you have to keep this here. You have to keep in a china dish. Water you have to keep within it, distilled water, and you have to plunge this fusion tube along with the compound and the sodium metal inside this water. So here what I have done is, I have plunged the fusion tube inside this china dish in which water was kept, and immediately we have to close it with this mesh. Okay, so what you have observed here is whenever we add this fusion tube, there may be fire that is generated. Obviously, we know that sodium is very reactive, so it may, when it reacts with water, then it will cause a very exothermic reaction. So because of that, you can see the fire that was generated. So you have to be very careful while doing this step. Next, what we need to do is we have to crush the contents that are present within this china dish, which contains the sodium as well as which is fused with our organic compound. So we need to crush it, and then we have to prepare the sodium fusion extract. So the contents of the china dish, which consists of the fusion tube along with the sodium that is fused with our organic compound, are crushed by making use of a pestle. And then the china dish, which consists of this contents, which is already with the crushed fusion tube, it is kept for boiling. So once it starts boiling, we have to filter the solution, and the filtrate that is obtained is nothing but the sodium fusion extract.